Live stream's going. All right. 5:45. Let's get this going.
Got a text on your phone saying password expired. Link look weird, but your thumb feel wired. They fishing for the keys to your whole damn life. One tap, now they swimming in your bank late night. Dear customer, copy paste same line. Spelled your name wrong, can't even fake the design. Buzz in your pocket, yo, click for the check, click for the virus, click, lose respect. Scamaware 101, Jared, break it down. If it sound too sweet, better turn it around. Cash, fast love, miracle and cash. Hit the lead, not the link. We ain't falling for that. Scamaware 101, say it with your chest. Call them out, block the number, treat it like a test. If your gut say run, then you follow that drum. Scamaware, class has begun.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips.
What's up, Dave?
Download
Good to
this
see
trading app.
Stop!
Welcome.
It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PAN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
They slide in your DMs, hey friend, long time. Photo look perfect, but the grammar ain't right. Click this link, your package on hold, but you never ordered. That story feel old. They rush you, they push you, act fast, don't wait. Soon as there's pressure, you step on the brakes. Dare break it down, plain talk, no gloss. If they hate your questions, that's your sign to walk off. Red flags, listen when he talks. Jared got the map when the road feels dark. If it sounds too sweet, then you step back smart. We don't get scammed, yeah, we guard our hearts. Hey, red flags, learn them by heart. Scam awareness class, that's the hardest part. But he slow it right down, so we all take charge. We don't get scammed, we don't get scarred.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my
What's up,
PAN,
everybody?
and
Say
my
hi in the
first
chat. Let me know
pet's
you're watching.
social
You can
security
start soon.
number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer and truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, fat wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scamaware 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, then you broke in the step. Stay woke, lucky, well, man, these crooks don't care.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PAN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
It's your bank, message on your phone. Jared says pause, don't tap that alone. Spelling kinda shaky, logo looks strange. Why they in a hurry, what's the real game? Dave Cruz jumps in, check that URL. Little extra letter, rings like a bell. If they want your code, that's your front door key. Real ones never ask, just trust me. Scam awareness 101, we don't click quick, we don't just run. Stop, read it line by line. If it smells off, then hit decline. Scam awareness gets a call, your grandkid's stuck. Voice sounds shaky, begging for $1. Jared hits speaker, ask one more thing. What's their middle name? What's their first dog spring? Nigella's on email, congrats, you won. Prize looks fancy, fees day one.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101, and we do this every Thursday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. Our mission here is to spread awareness about common scams that target you, scammers that target your friends, your family, your loved ones. And look, these scammers, no joke. They want to take your life savings. They want to take your retirement fund. They want to take everything you have. We're not talking about small-time scammers. They're just trying to go for $100, even $1,000. They want everything, right? So for the next 2 hours, we have jam-packed live stream full of common scams that are targeting you. We're going to go over red flags to help you and your family identify these scams and stop them before becoming a victim. And we're also going to show you real examples. We're going to show you email scam examples, phone call scam examples, text message scam examples. We're even going to show you some snail mail scam examples because scammers use all forms of communication to target you. Quick hello to everybody in the chat. What's up, Dave? How are you out there? What's up, John, if you're in there yet? Hello, everybody on Instagram, over on Facebook, and on YouTube. We're streaming live across all three. So make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that follow, subscribe, say hi in the chat. Let us know you're watching. Give us some reactions. We want to hear from you. If you want to support what we're doing over here, we have memberships enabled over on YouTube. We have super chats and super thanks enabled over on YouTube as well. And we have an online store. You can purchase some merch, help support the mission. Got some coffee mugs in there, travel mugs, water bottles, stickers, mouse pads, all useful products to help remind you to be scamware. You can also donate directly, scamware101.com/donate. We'll take whatever we could get. We need the support. But hey, times are tough. We get it. So we're happy to get some likes, some follows, some subscribes. So make sure to check us out on all your favorite social media platforms. Hit that like button. Again, we're going to be streaming for 2 hours tonight. So now's a great time to share this live stream, get some more people in the chat and talking here. And without further ado, let's talk about some common scams that you need to watch out for so you can protect yourselves and protect your loved ones. And the first one we're going to talk about this evening are fake CAPTCHA scams. That's when scammers display a fake website CAPTCHA to verify you're human. Right? We've all seen these fake CAPTCHAs, or these CAPTCHAs in general. They make you pick those traffic lights and those bicycles to prove that you're a human. Well, scammers are now exploiting that, and there's fake CAPTCHAs that are designed to trick you and install a virus on your computer. Now, we actually reported about this fake CAPTCHA scam over a year ago, and we have a video on our website about this fake CAPTCHA scam, but it's picking up steam again and starting to get some attention lately, and it's starting to spread a lot more. So this scam is worth going over and reviewing again and reminding everybody about it. And the way these fake CAPTCHA scams work is they pop up that box that says verify you're human, right? And you click the I'm not a robot button. But what's different about this type of scam is then it comes with a bunch of instructions that tell you need to verify, right? And the instructions, as you can see here on the screen, they instruct you to press the Windows key and R, right? Which actually opens the run box on your computer. It then tricks you into pasting a PowerShell command into run box, right? Now, if this sounds technical, you don't have to worry about all the technical details of it. The important part to remember is that no valid CAPTCHA is going to tell you to press the Windows key and the R key, right? That's how this CAPTCHA scam gets you, because Windows R, it actually opens the run box on your machine. It's not a valid way to verify who you are. It's a trick. It's a clever trick that these scammers use. Now, a year ago when we first reported on this scam, there was only a Windows version of this one circulating. But since then, there's now a Mac version and even a Linux version that tricks users into running this malicious command on your device, right? So be aware of these fake CAPTCHA scams. They're circulating again. Lots of reports coming in about these again. Make sure to review the video on our channel about the fake CAPTCHA scam. Again, we released it over a year ago, still relevant today, right? And it's actually even more relevant today than it was back then, probably. So go check out that fake CAPTCHA video. And as for yourself, remember that the key to not falling for these fake CAPTCHAs is do not press the Windows key, right? And we created this cool little infographic for you. Spot the fake CAPTCHA scam, how the scam works, right? A malicious command is secretly copied when you click that I'm not a robot button. Right? It's secretly copied to your clipboard, and then you're tricked into pasting it into a run box. So if you see this prompt, it's a scam. Close it immediately. Don't follow the instructions. Let me know in the chat if you've encountered that scam. Quite a few people reporting that one. So let us know if you've been seeing that one. And let me know in the chat how you're doing. Hit that like button, give us some reactions. Let me know you're out there. Next scam we're going to talk about here. There was actually a report on this the other day. And we saw a warning here from the local TV station about this one. And basically, it's about searching for contact information on the internet. You can't always trust the results that you get. For example, what this is warning us about here is this victim was searching for a Stanley steamer, right? But there was an imposter website on Google. They were using the Google sponsored listings. And what happened was the victim thought they were clicking on the Stanley steamer website. They're actually clicking on a fake website. And then they contacted scammers thinking they were talking to Stanley Steamer. They actually lost $1,900 for unnecessary mold remediation by imposters. Right? And it's all because the victim was tricked into calling a fake phone number. And in this case, she thought she was doing the right thing, looking up the phone number on the internet, but she clicked on that sponsored listing that was paid for by scammers and ended up falling for the scam. So a tip to avoid these types of scams, these fake sponsored listing results that bring it to these fake websites, right? You're advised to scroll past the sponsored ads, right? Because it's important to remember, scammers can purchase sponsored ads just like anybody else can, right? So it's important to scroll past the sponsored ads and make sure you're actually clicking on the real website of whoever you're trying to contact. And again, we see this in all sorts of different scenarios. We just scammers take advantage of that, where they trick you into calling a fake phone number. And it's actually pretty common now when they do that. And the next scam we're going to talk about is another example of that. So this next example is fake order scams. So when victims receive a fake notification, then an order was made under their account, right? But when they go to call the number to dispute the order, they're actually connected to a fake customer support line that's actually scammers, right? And they'll impersonate the company that you're trying to reach, and they'll trick you into thinking you're talking to a valid customer support, but you're not. And don't underestimate this type of scam. It's actually a very big problem, right? Because this scam, they could target any vendor. They could say anything was purchased, because the idea is it doesn't matter that it wasn't. The whole idea is they want you to think it was, so you call up and dispute it. And the first example you could see here is a text message. And it impersonates Apple. And it says, your Apple Cloud ID was recently used at the Apple Store for $143. Also, some suspicious sign-in request was detected. And then it goes on to say, call this number immediately to cancel this charge. But it's a scam. If you call that number, you'll be connected to a scammer. They'll impersonate Apple, but they'll try to trick you. And what we have here is a victim's story. She was actually tricked by an email version of this scam. Because again, this type of scam, we're being targeted from all directions. Phone calls, emails, text messages. So you have to have your guard up. And in the case of this victim, a 23-year-old Lincoln woman, Lincoln, Nebraska, reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to an identity fraud scam in July. The scam began with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. The woman called the number provided in the email to dispute the purchase, and she was told she had multiple accounts in her name across various states. Now she's talking to scammers, right? She's not actually talking to customer support. So she calls up, she thinks she's talking to Apple, and that's how the scam works. That's how they trick you into calling and talking to a scammer. So she's talking to the scammer. They tell her identity's been stolen, right? And they connect her to another scammer that's posing as a CIA agent who instructs her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account, right? The next day, she's directed to use money to purchase Walmart gift cards, which is a very common scam. It's a red flag. Anything involving gift cards should be considered a red flag, which we're going to talk about a little later in the live stream. So anyway, also notice the age of that person. She's 23 years old. We're not talking about the older folks out there, right? A lot of younger folks are falling for these scams too. So when it comes to scam awareness and scam prevention, it doesn't matter how old you are. The scammer's going to target you and they're going to try to get you. So awareness is important for everybody, regardless of your age, right? So that's a fake order scam. But I also mentioned they're targeting you from all directions, right? We have text message here. We have the email version here. What about the phone call version? I actually got two examples I'm going to play for you here about the phone call version of these fake order scams, where they impersonate vendors and they claim something was purchased under your account. And his first example, it impersonates Walmart. I'm sorry, the second example impersonates Walmart. First example impersonates Amazon. and they claim a MacBook Pro was purchased under your account for $1,499. Let's take a listen to this scam.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
Now that's an example of fake order scam. Again, they're impersonating Amazon, and they're claiming that $1,499 charges on your account. And then they try to trick you into pressing 1 or calling the number shown. Both of those are red flags, by the way. If someone's leaving a message and they don't leave a valid phone number for you to call back, if instead they say, press 1 or call the number shown, it's a major red flag. But regardless, be aware of this scam. If you're concerned that a charge was on your Amazon account, log into your Amazon account directly. Do not trust the phone call. Do not press 1. Do not trust the phone number that they tell you to call back. It's a very common scam, and you have to verify. Verify through a legit channel and legit sources, which would be your Amazon account. Let's take a listen to the second example of a fake order scam. This one impersonates Walmart, and it claims a PlayStation was purchased in your account for $859. By the way, let me know in the chat if you've been targeted by this scam or if you received these types of phone calls.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
Right? So that's a scam when they say call back number at earliest convenience. But they didn't leave a real phone number. Right? If you call back whatever number shown, you'll be connected to a scammer. Right? Because these scammers, they're sitting in call centers. Right? There's call centers full of scammers waiting for you to call them. Right? This isn't just somebody in their basement trying to trick you. Right? These are full-scale criminal organizations working together out of data centers and groups of people and teams. Right? It's important to be aware of these. Oh, we see somebody in the chat, and that somebody is getting blocked and banned. Remove. Put user in timeout. No, I'm going to put this user in timeout. Put you in timeout for the next 24 hours, buddy. See ya. So watch out for these fake order scams. Watch out for scammers like that came into the chat. We don't take no crap. All right. This next scam we're going to talk about here. Grandparent scams. Look, this is one of those heinous crimes, heinous scams, where they actually target your grandparents, your parents, your loved ones, right? And they're using you or the grandchild or children as bait. And that's why it's called a grandparent scam. And how it works is scammers impersonate a distressed relative, claiming they have been arrested and needing financial help. Usually they'll say there's been an accident, something along those lines. The scammer will impersonate the loved one. They'll impersonate a police officer. And they'll often impersonate court personnel, lawyers to extract even more money from your loved one, right? And you might be thinking to yourself, how could somebody fall for this type of scam? I would know if it was a relative actually calling me, but I'm not so sure about that. And we actually have a video that we're going to play for you here, which is an excellent example of how these grandparent scammers work. So let me just frame this up for you, what we're about to watch here. This is a scammer from the Dominican Republic, right? And he's known as an opener. His job is to contact the victims and initiate the scam. And in this case, he's calling the victims and impersonating the loved one, claiming there's been an accident, right? And then eventually he's going to hand off the scam to closers, who their job is to get the money from the victim. But what we're going to watch right now, this video, he's a real scammer. And there's a YouTuber, he goes by the name Scam Sandwich. Check out his channel, give his video some likes. But he actually hacked into this scammer's computer, and we recorded him on his webcam. Right, so now we can watch the video of this scammer actually doing a scam. So let's take a look at this scammer performing a grandparent scam. And by the way, let me know in the chat if you think that the person was going to fall for it, because there's this debate right now. I feel like the lady that he talks to was going to fall for it. Other people say yes or no. So let me know in the chat if you think it sounds like she was going to fall for it. I think she was going to fall for it. But let's take a listen.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2B.
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscating her cell phone for legal evidence, so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
The next. So that's an example of a grandparent scam. Let me know in the chat if you think that that victim was about ready to fall for it or not. To me, it sounded like she was. But just so you're aware, Scam Sandwich, the guy had recorded that, he was able to reach that victim and warn her too, not to fall for it. So she didn't lose anything to the scammer. But because of that whole experience and the dedicated work of Scam Sandwich over there, he was able to get this video recorded and share it with the world. So it gives us a real peek behind the curtain of how these grandparent scams work. And after seeing that video, I could understand how someone could fall for that. You know, they have the distressed relative. It's only like 20 seconds of the distressed relative. And it's really, it sounds like anybody could be crying, right? It sounds like anybody's loved one because people don't sound like themselves when they're distressed, right? So anyway, watch out for these grandparent scams. Important to be aware of, right? If you're a grandparent out there, the parent out there, be aware, you know, if you get a phone call like this. And if you're the grandchild or the child, warn your parents or grandparents about this scam because they're the ones being targeted, right? And look, these scammers, they want to take your retirement fund. They want to take your life savings, right? They want to take everything. You know, they're targeting your parents or grandparents. They want to take your inheritance too, right? So it's important to be aware of these scams and to spread awareness and make sure your loved ones and your friends know, right? Who's with me? Let me know in the chat. Give me some reactions here. And if you're just joining, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help. Where are we going? So about 8 o'clock this evening. So still plenty of time. Let's share this live stream. Get some more people in here. Give us some reactions in the chat. Give us some likes. And let's do something good out there. Get the word out about these scams so people can protect themselves. Next scam we're going to talk about here. Road toll scams. We did a video about this one over a year ago now too. And it's evolved so much since we released that video. This is when scammers impersonate road toll services like EasyPass, SunPass, Fast Track, and claim an unpaid toll is due. Victims are usually contacted by a text message or email containing a link to pay. However, the link opens a fake website designed to steal any personal information or financial details entered. Right? So someone thinks that they're paying a $6 fine or a $6 toll, right? But they're actually revealing their payment details to a scammer. And we have a few examples of this type of scam to show you here. Toll roads notice of toll evasion. You have an unpaid toll bill on your account. To avoid late fees, pay within 12 hours or the late fees will be increased and reported to the DMV. Scary stuff, right? Your vehicle has an unpaid toll bill. To avoid excessive late fees on your bill, please sell it promptly. Thank you for your cooperation. Final warning, unpaid toll failure to pay $3.99 will result in further penalties. They have Easy Drive Massachusetts reminder. Your bill for $6.99 is due soon. Please visit. And it's got the fake website to visit. At this point, we've seen them impersonate so many different agencies, right? I mean, SunPass, Peach Pass, North Carolina Quick Pass, Good to Go, over there in Washington State, North Texas Tollway, Drive Easy Maryland, Easy Drive Massachusetts, the DMV, DOT. The list goes on. So don't fall for these types of text messages if you get them. And, you know, these actually evolved. We watched them evolve from a road toll scam to a traffic ticket scam, which basically works the same way. The scammers impersonate law enforcement or government agencies and claim you owe an unpaid traffic fine. Then they pressure you to pay with threats of arrest, license suspension, or court action, right? Unless immediate payment is made. And we have a few examples of those text messages as well. And look, the same groups are behind this, right? It's pretty much the same type of scam as the unpaid toll, except they say, hey, you have an unpaid ticket. And by the way, let me know in the chat if you've received these text messages. I know you have. So give us some likes, some reactions. Let us know that you received these text messages too. But you can see on the first example here, Nebraska Department of Motor Vehicles. Enforcement penalties begin July 21st. Our records show that as of today, you still have an outstanding traffic ticket, according with Nebraska State Administrative Code 15C-16, Right, and then it goes on to say they're going to take the following actions if you don't pay. This is where they use fear. This is where they use fear and threats to try and scare the victim. Because you have to remember that. Scammers use fear because they want to create this false sense of urgency. So they're going to threaten you. They're going to make threats in these text messages, right? We're going to report it to the DMV violation database. We're going to suspend your vehicle registration starting July 21st. We're going to suspend your driving privileges. We're going to transfer it to a toll booth and charge you 35% service fee. You may be prosecuted. Your credit score will be affected, right? Scary stuff. And the whole idea is they want you to be afraid. They want you to just click that link and you think, okay, let me just pay this real quick, right? But they're going to steal whatever details you provide. The example right next to it, Illinois Department of Vehicles. It's actually an identical version of this scam, word for word, except they switch out the state, right? Illinois Department of Vehicles. Final notice. Enforcement penalties begin July 25th. Right? Same threats. They report you to the DMV. Suspend your vehicle registration. All scary stuff. And then here's another example next to it. Final notice. Unpaid traffic violation. Payment required January 19th. This one targets New Jersey. New Jersey drivers. This is a final notice for unpaid traffic violation under New Jersey law. Title 39, failure to pay by deadline will trigger enforcement action, right? It's got all the scary things that are going to happen to you, just like the other texts. Because that's what these scammers do. They use this fear to create this urgency. So don't fall for it if you get these text messages. If you're concerned that this is a legit notification, don't click the link. Don't call phone numbers. And that goes for any kind of message you get. You never want to trust the links. You never want to call the phone numbers. Instead, you want to verify through official channels. So if you must, go look up the official number of Nebraska Department of Motor Vehicles and check through there, right? Whoever they're impersonating, go look up the actual contact information and verify, right? Because you can't trust what the text message says. But sticking with this theme as far as driving scams targeting drivers, right? Fake parking ticket scam. So many versions of this fake parking ticket scam going around now, right? Sometimes there's a physical piece of paper left on your vehicle. Other times you get a text message or email, right? And here's an example. The city of Houston, notice of parking violation. There's a physical piece of paper that was left on somebody's vehicle. It's a fake violation, right? And we're seeing this in major cities. This example is from Houston, but I've heard Denver, Miami, pretty much any major city has this type of scam circulating in it. You go out to your vehicle, you find this piece of paper in your windshield, you think you got a parking violation to pay, and they have a QR code to scan. If you scan that QR code and you pay it, you're actually providing your payment details to a scammer, right? Because you got to remember, they're not out to just get you tricking and paying $90, right? They're out to get your payment details so then they can use your payment details and purchase themselves big screen TVs and things like that. But that's a physical version of this scam. More recently, and let me know in the chat if you've seen these, because these started going out a little over a month or so ago. Yeah, see, March 19th, March 20th, right? So a little over a month ago, these started going out, and they look very legit, right? These fake traffic violation notices. And we're seeing them in many different states now. Right, in these examples, we have the state of New Jersey, state of Massachusetts, state of Florida, and there's all, I've seen New York, Illinois, I mean, the list goes on now at this point. But they're very realistic looking, right? And basically they say, notice a hearing, traffic violation. You're hereby notified that you are alleged to have committed the following violation within Newark, New Jersey, or Boston, Massachusetts. Right, depending on which one you're looking at. Florida statutes, 338.155, right? They have statute numbers. And they're telling you have to either pay or go to court. So I'm always curious how many people actually go to court and then find out it's a fake ticket. But you see, it looks very legit. So something funny about this scam, though, and actually it's a good example of what scammers are doing now. If you zoom in on the state logos up top here, they're actually AI generated, right? Look at the text. It's not real words, right? They're AI. So that's always a giveaway that something's AI generated. But there's an example how the scammers are using AI more and more to create these realistic looking scams. And of course, they include the QR code because is an easy way to get you onto their fake website and to steal your payment details. So if you get this notification, whether it's a text message or an email, right, and it has attachments like this, do not scan the QR code. Do not show up to the court hearing. If you actually got a real ticket, a real violation, you're going to get notified by mail, right? And if you're concerned it's real, the golden rule still applies. Verify through official channels, right? Actually call the Newark Essex County Courthouse and check if you really have a violation, right? But yeah, be aware of these. Very realistic looking. They started circulating about a month ago, so they're still new. Lots of people getting targeted with them. Don't fall for it. So, and it's interesting to see how this scam evolved, right? It started with the fake road toll text messages. It evolved into the traffic ticket text messages. And then it evolved to these very realistic looking notifications arriving through text and email. So be aware of that. Next scam we're going to talk about, sticking with that theme, fake parking meter QR code scams. And again, this goes back to QR codes. And QR codes in general, you have to be suspicious. You have to be aware. You have to have your guard up, right? Especially out in public. And this is one of those examples why, right? And this was an alert from the BBB. BBB scam alert. Double check that QR code before you pay for parking. And look, this warning is almost 2 years old, right? So this has been going on for a while, and it's gotten even more common now, right? I blame COVID for QR codes becoming such a common method now, because COVID kind of got everybody used to hands-free and scanning menus and things like that, right? So people started becoming more adapted to scanning QR codes, and the scammers know this. So what they were doing here is they were printing out stickers of malicious QR codes, and they were putting those stickers on top of legit QR codes. So when you scan this sticker for parking, you're actually taking the fake website and your payment details are stolen. And to add insult to injury, you think you paid for parking, you go do whatever you're doing, you come back, your car's gone because you didn't pay for parking. So you got scammed in many different ways. So be very careful in the public when you're scanning QR codes. This is just one example, right? These parking meters. The safest QR code is one that you don't have to scan, right? If you have the parking app use the parking app directly, on your device instead of scanning the QR code. If you're going to scan a QR code but it has a website over, instead go to a website directly, right? There's no reason to trust the QR code if you don't have to. So keep that in mind. Don't fall for those types of scams. And that's our first batch of common scams we're talking about tonight. How are we all doing out there? Make sure to let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. Give us a like. I'm not really watching the viewer count or anything like that, so the only way I know is if you're telling me. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Our mission here is to spread awareness about common scams. Now make sure to join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. It's free to join. We'll send you notifications when we add new content, send you some scam awareness tips, reminders when we're going live. It's the best way to keep up to date with what we're doing over here. So make sure to check out scamaware101.com and click join mailing list. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We're on YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. Also, on our site here, we have some links at the bottom. You can visit our merch shop. Get some products, scam awareness products, help support the mission here. We got coffee mugs, water bottles, some mouse pads, stickers. And you can donate directly too. We have the link here to donate. But hey, we're happy just getting some likes, subscribe, some follows. And by the way, we have an online course now too. So you can check out our online course, $10. That's all, $10. You get access for a year. It's about an hour of videos broken down into easy to follow lessons. And it's an introduction, fundamentals, how scams start. So check out the free online, not free, check out the online course for $10. And under it, we have a free phishing quiz you could take too. See if you can identify the phishing emails. Fun little exercise. That's free. So you check that out. We have that link at the bottom of our site as well. Now, let's continue. Let's talk about some red flags to help you identify a scam. And look, red flags are important. You know, one of the things about hearing the victims' stories, and I always appreciate when the victims come forward and share their stories, is we're able to learn what red flags they missed and learn from their mistakes. Right? So it's important that these victims come forward, they share their stories, and I always appreciate that. So thank you to all the victims that come forward and share this info. But let's start with the first red flag here. I actually mentioned this a little bit already here, is scammers create a sense of urgency. They use fear and threats. They want you to make you think you have to take immediate action, right? They try to create urgency and fear because those emotions push people to react quickly, okay? The more panic and pressure the scammers could create, the faster a victim will hand over money and information, right? And we see that a lot, like in grandparent scams that we just talked about. You know, the victim thinks their loved one has been in an accident and thinks that they're in trouble. Okay, so of course they're going to react quickly. They think it's an urgent situation. They're going to react quickly. Arrest warrant scams. We're going to talk about those in a little bit. But the scammers make you think they're going to come and arrest you. They make you think there's a warrant out for your arrest, and they're going to come and get you, which could be a scary situation, right? Well, that's how they use the fear to create urgency and get you to react. Same thing with bank impersonation scams, which we're also going to talk about. They make you think your money's not safe, right? They're like, you have to transfer your money before a scammer gets it. But they're just trying to scare you. They're trying to scare you into reacting. So don't fall for that. By the way, these red flags we're going to talk about, we have videos about them as well. So go check out the videos, share them with a loved one a little later on our YouTube channel. So that's red flag number 1. They create a sense of urgency using fear and threats. They insist on immediate action. Now, don't give in to the temptation. Don't give in to the fear. Always verify. Red flag number 2. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. So it's super common for scammers to ask for confidentiality. They don't want you to discuss the situation with other people because the more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam, right? And some examples about that is grandparent scams. I'm not sure if you noticed, but in the example we played a little earlier, the scammer told the victim, they said, your granddaughter's embarrassed about the arrest and she asked you not to tell anybody. That's a trick. That's their trick to try and keep you secret, right? That's the request for secrecy. Investment scams, they'll tell you it's an inside tip and the price is just for you, right? But they're just trying to trick you into not talking to anybody. Inheritance scams, they'll say the matter is confidential. Who are they to tell you to keep an inheritance confidential? That's up to you, not them, right? But they include that request for secrecy and it needs to be a red flag. Fake fraudulent activity, right? This is when they impersonate the bank or some agency investigating fraud. And the excuse they give you not to talk is they say it's an open investigation. You can't tell anybody about it or you put the investigation at risk. Right. But it's all a lie. Right. It's all their way of trying to keep you quiet because they know if you talk to more people, you're likely to be told it's a scam. Right. So that's red flag number 2. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. Don't do it. Look, if something sounds strange, talk to somebody. Right. Red flag number 3. They ask to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue. And we're going to talk about some more scams that do that on a live stream, but we already talked about one as well. We talked about the fake order scams, which we'll talk about some more in a minute. But look, scammers always want to get onto your device. It's a gold mine to them. They love it because you don't realize it, but those passwords that you have saved in your browser, these scammers, they get onto your computer, they can extract your logins, right? They can encrypt your files, hold them for ransom, blackmail you if you have embarrassing things on your computer or device, right? And they can attempt to access your bank websites too when they're on your computer. Right? Nothing good comes when these scammers have access to your device. They'll install software where they can access your device later when you're not using it, and then they do illegal things that traces back to you, right? So you never want to let these scammers onto your device, and it's always a red flag when somebody's trying to connect to your device. And unfortunately, these scammers, a lot of times, they trick you into calling them, right? So one example is these tech support scams. Right? A fake virus alert pops up. Warning, you're infected with the virus. And it tells you to call this number. But if you call that number, you actually get connected to a scammer. And the first thing they're going to say is, let me connect to your computer to take a look at the virus. But it's a scam. They're trying to get onto your device so they can steal your personal information. Fake order scams. We talked about these a little earlier, right? You get that fake order notification. It says to call this number to dispute it. You call that number. What they might do is then they'll say, let me see the notification. I'm going to connect your device. It's just a trick to connect your device. Red flag. Don't let them connect your device. Okay? The fake fraudulent activity, where they're impersonating banks or an agency investigating fraud. Look, what they do is they say, let me connect your device, and then log into each of your bank accounts. We'll look for suspicious activity, right? And the victim thinks they're talking to the bank or some agency that they can trust. So they let the scammer onto the device, and they're opening up the bank accounts, showing the scammers their balance. And the scammer is like, okay, he's got that much money I can steal. He's got that much money I can steal, right? All because you let him onto your device. Don't do it, right? It's a big red flag if someone wants to connect your device. And it's a tricky one because when they trick you into calling them, right, it's natural to think, well, I called them, so they're not a scammer. But no, right? One of the first things we talked about earlier is how that woman did a search for Stanley Steamers, and she called the wrong scam company and lost $1,900, right? So big red flag if someone wants to connect your device, even if you reach out to them first. When it comes to letting people connect your device, you should already have someone in mind as your support person, right? Maybe it's that family member that's good with computers. Maybe it's the tech support people at your work. Maybe it's the local computer shop down the street. But you should already have in mind where if something ever happens where someone needs to connect your computer, no, I already got my own computer guy. I already got my own computer person. They'll take care of this. There's no reason to let these strangers onto your device. All right, so keep that in mind. That's red flag number 3, that you're dealing with a scammer. They ask to connect to your PC to investigate or assist with an issue. If you're just joining, make sure to hit that like button. Give us some reactions in the chat. Help us spread awareness. Let's talk about red flag number 4. They're dealing with a scammer. And this might be the most important red flag to be aware of. Because a lot of times it's your last chance to stop the scam. All right, so red flag number 4 is they request payment in gift cards, right? Like Target gift cards, Apple gift cards, right? Prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM, right? These unusual forms of payment. They need to be a red flag when somebody makes a request like that, because we know that scammers love to be paid in that way. Why do scammers want to get paid with gift cards and cryptocurrency? Because they can move the funds quickly, and it's much harder, if not impossible, for victims to recover those funds. Right? So that's why it has to be a red flag. And again, this might be like your last chance to stop the scam, because next step, if they're requesting gift cards from you and you don't know to stop, the next step is you're giving them the money, right? And you're not going to get it back. Some examples of that: IRS and Social Security scams. Right? They call you up, they impersonate the IRS, Social Security, they claim you got to pay them back taxes or something, some kind of payment, or something didn't go through, right? And they'll say, pay with gift cards or pay with cryptocurrency. And look, that's always a red flag. If a government agency is asking you to pay with gift cards, to pay with cryptocurrency, it's a red flag because the government agencies do not accept that yet. Say yet. Maybe in the future will, but right now they don't. So it's always a red flag if a government agency is asking you to pay in gift cards, cryptocurrency, right? Romance scams. Look, these romance scammers, they take advantage of these emotionally attached victims. The victims think that they're just sending gift cards as gifts, right? But the reason the scammer requests gift cards is they know that you're not going to be able to get the money back, right? The way these gift cards work is you take a picture and send to the scammer. You don't even have to send them the physical gift card. They ask you for a picture, they clear out the funds, and the gift card you're holding is worthless. Bank impersonation scams. Right? A lot of times they'll ask you to withdraw the money and deposit in a cryptocurrency machine. Right? Always a red flag. It has to be a red flag. And don't fall for this one, right? Red flag number 4. They request payment, gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Don't let them get you. Red flag number 5. I mentioned this one a little earlier too. The voicemail instructs you to call number displayed or press 1. Right? That's always a red flag. If they don't leave an actual phone number to call and instead they're saying call number displayed or to press 1, it's a scam. Right? Because scammers change their phone numbers all the time. Their phone numbers are getting canceled and turned off all the time when people report them. right? So their phone numbers are constantly changing. So instead of always having to leave the phone number or update all these messages with the new phone number, they just say call number displayed, right? It saves them time, but it's a big red flag, luckily for us. We see a lot of fake order notification scams, right? And the examples I showed you earlier where they say call the number displayed or press 1. Might see this with utility and internet cable provider impersonation scams, IRS and tax forgiveness scams. Right? Never trust phone numbers that are left by unsolicited callers. Never press 1 to be connected. You know, again, always, if you're concerned that the notification is legit or that the instructions are legit, confirm the actual phone number to call back on. Don't press 1 and don't call back the number left. All right, so that's red flag number 5. The voicemail instructs you to call the number displayed on the caller ID instead of stating a number to call. Let me know in the chat if you've been targeted by that one. Shout out to everybody over on Instagram and Facebook watching. I'm monitoring the YouTube chat, so you'll get quicker answers from me over into YouTube. So go run over to YouTube and check out the YouTube channel. Red flag number 6 out of 10. An unsolicited email or text message instructs you to open a file attachment. Look, this is actually cybersecurity 101. And that's what I'm into. That's what I do. Right? Scammers use file attachments to bypass email and text message filters. Okay? Malicious email and text message attachments can install malware and direct you to a dangerous website. If you don't know who sent the attachment and you weren't expecting it, don't open it. Right? Whether it's an email or text message, if you weren't expecting the attachment, you don't know who it's from, do not open it. Right? We see this a lot with fake invoice scams. You'll get an email or a text message and it has a fake invoice attached. Right? But you open the file and it infects your computer with a virus, or it takes you to a fake website, steals your personal details, payment details. Right? Undeliverable package scams. They impersonate delivery services, FedEx, UPS, USPS. Right? And they instruct you to open an attachment. They'll say there's a problem with a delivery, right? But you open that attachment, infects with the virus, takes you to a fake website. Unpaid road toll scams. We've seen them attach documents to just blank emails, blank text messages, and you open the document and it says you have an unpaid road toll or a traffic ticket, right? Just like the examples we were showing you earlier, the realistic looking ones with the state seals on the top, right? Those are attachments that the scammer sent you, right? You never want to open attachments that you weren't expecting. You don't know who they're from. It's a scam. So that's red flag number 6. An unsolicited email or text message instructs you to open a file attachment. Don't fall for it. Red flag number 7. The text message includes an instruction at the end to reply with yes and reopen the message. So this isn't always a scam, but most of the time it is. We know that scammers include this instruction at the end of a text message that says to reply yes and reopen a message. The reason they do this is, one, when you reply, it tells them your number's active. They get a reply from you. They know they'll target you with more scams. They know that you read the text. And even worse, they know you reply. So if you reply like they tell you to, they'll know your number's active. You get added to more lists and you become targeted more by more scams. Right? So they include that instruction. But also, when you reply to a scam phone number, it'll activate the link on your phone so it's clickable, right? So now it's more dangerous. Now you can actually click the link and get taken to the scam website. So we see this instruction a lot at the end of these scam text messages where they say to reply yes and reopen the message. We see it on the outstanding traffic ticket scams. We see it on the undeliverable package scams. We see it on the fake IRS impersonation scams. You should never reply to a text message that you suspect is a scam. That's red flag number 7. The text message instructs you, has an instruction at the end, to reply with yes and reopen the message. Don't do it. It's a scam. Let me know in the chat if you've seen that on your text messages. I do all the time. Almost there. Red flag number 8 out of 10. The caller asked to confirm personal information, like date of birth, social security number, Medicare number. Right? Scammers impersonate medical, financial, and government services to steal personal information. They'll claim to have an important message for you, but they'll say you need to give them personal information to verify your identity first. They'll say a new card is being issued, and they'll ask you to confirm your current card number first. Right? The red flag is that a stranger calls up, they just start asking you this personal information, or they start saying that you can't have information unless you provide your date of birth, right? Any phone calls that start off that way, or any phone calls that you weren't expecting asking you for your personal information, it's a red flag. Don't trust this. We see this a lot with Medicare and healthcare scams. They'll impersonate healthcare services. They'll try to get your Medicare number, your date of birth, your start date, things like that. We're going to talk about Medicare scams in a little bit, so stay tuned. This is government impersonation scams. They call up, they impersonate Social Security or the IRS and try to get your Social Security number. Right? They'll try to do it by saying you're entitled to a refund. You can't trust it. Right? Again, just like everything, the golden rule. If you're concerned that this phone call is real, you got to hang up and then verify through official channels. Right? Call Social Security directly. Check your Social Security account directly. But you can't trust these unsolicited calls that claim to be from someone. So that's red flag number 8. The caller asked to confirm personal information like date of birth, Social Security number, Medicare number. Don't do it. Red flag number 9. They're dealing with a scammer. They direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. So why do these scammers do that? Why do they want to redirect you to third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp? Because it's easier for them to communicate with victims in other countries, right? Once they got you on that chat app, chances are they got you for good. It's not like a phone number where suddenly the phone numbers can stop working. Once they have you over on Telegram or WhatsApp, they know they got you, right? And also it offers them more anonymity to hide behind too. A lot of these apps, you can't track who's behind them. We see this a lot with romance scams. Right? They create these fake dating profiles initially on websites and dating apps to lure in the victim. And then once they start talking to their dating matches, they'll direct them to keep talking on WhatsApp. And that's a red flag when they tell you to go over to WhatsApp. Right? We see this a lot with wrong number scams. Right? You get these random text messages. Oh, sorry, it's a wrong number. They'll say, you seem friendly. Let's be friends. Right? And then they say, let's keep talking on WhatsApp. Don't do it. It's a scam. We see this in investment scams too. They'll direct victims to a Telegram or WhatsApp group to pump up an investment, try to make it appear more legit. Right? But it's all part of their scam. You can't trust it. Right? No, it's part of their playbook. So if somebody you just met online is telling you to go on to Telegram, Discord, WhatsApp, right? It's a red flag. Don't trust it. We know it's part of the playbook. Be safe. Keep your guard up. It's red flag number 9. Direct to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. And then, red flag number 10, they ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. This is actually a common scam, and we see it a lot on marketplace type websites. Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, those type of websites. And what happens is the scammer impersonates a buyer or a seller, right? And they'll say something like, I just want to verify that your phone number is real. I'm going to send you over a code, right? Or sometimes you'll be on the phone with a scammer impersonating the bank. And they'll say, I'm going to send you a code just to verify that who you are, so there you are, right? But it's a scam. What they're actually doing is they're trying to log into one of your accounts and you're going to get notified on the phone, right? Or they're trying to reset a password. You're getting notified on the phone. Or there's actually another scam known as a Google Voice scam. And what they do is they register these fraudulent Google Voice accounts and they link them to your phone number, right? And when you reply back and you give these scammers the code, you let them do that. You let them link the account to your phone. So now they're out there committing crimes, scamming innocent victims using a Google Voice account that's linked to your phone, right? So in the bank example, they'll say, they'll say, we're just sending you over a code to verify your details, right? But what they're actually doing, they're trying to log into your bank account. You give them the code, you just gave them access to your bank account, right? So it's always a red flag if somebody's asking you to provide a code that they're going to send to your phone. Be suspicious. There's no reason an individual should be doing that. There's no reason an individual should be saying, I'm going to send you a code, give it back to me. Right? Chances are they're trying to do something malicious. All right, so that's red flag number 10. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. And that's 10 red flags that you're dealing with a scammer. Again, we have videos about those red flags. So make sure to check out the videos on our YouTube channel. Make sure to share them with a loved one. to spread awareness. All right, cool. How we all doing, everybody? We're just going to take a quick 5-minute break here. Been going for a little over about an hour. We start at 5:45. So we're going to be going until about 8 o'clock-ish, 7:45, 8 o'clock-ish. Still plenty of information coming up. Lots of common scams to go over and talk about after the break. We got arrest warrant scams coming up, bank impersonation scams coming up. Lots of good stuff. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Plenty of time to get this live stream shared. Let's get some more people in there. Get some more reactions. Say hi in the chat. It's almost Friday. Let's do it. Back in 5 minutes.
Got a text on your phone saying password expired. Link look weird, but your thumb feel wired. They fishing for the keys to your whole damn life. One tap, now they swimming in your bank late night. Dear customer, copy paste same line. Spelled your name wrong, can't even fake the design. Buzz in your pocket, yo, click for the check, click for the virus, click, lose respect. Scamaware 101, Jared, break it down. If it sound too sweet, better turn it around. Cash, fast love, miracle and cash. Hit the lead, not the link. We ain't falling for that. Scamaware 101, say it with your chest. Call them out, block the number, treat it like a test. If your gut say run, then you follow that drum. Scamaware, class has begun.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PAN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
They slide in your DMs, hey friend, long time. Photo look perfect, but the grammar ain't right. Click this link, your package on hold, but you never ordered. That story feel old. They rush you, they push you, act fast, don't wait. Soon as there's pressure, you step on the brakes. Dare break it down, plain talk, no gloss. If they hate your questions, that's your sign to walk off. Red flags, listen when he talks. Jared got the map when the road feels dark. If it sounds too sweet, then you step back smart. We don't get scammed, yeah, we guard our hearts. Hey, red flags, learn them by heart. Scam awareness class, that's the hardest part. But he slow it right down, so we all take charge. We don't get scammed, we don't get scarred.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PAN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, fat wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scamaware 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, leave you broken instead. Stay woke, my people, man, these crooks don't care.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
means my bank suddenly needs my password, my PAN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
It's your bank, message on your phone. Jared says pause, don't tap that alone. Spelling kinda shaky, logo looks strange. Why they in a hurry, what's the real game? Dave Cruz jumps in, check that URL. Little extra letter, rings like a bell. If they want your code, that's your front door key. Real ones never ask, just trust me. Scam awareness 101, we don't click quick, we don't just run. Stop, read it line by line. If it smells off, then hit decline. Scam awareness 101, learn the tricks, then tell someone. We keep each other safe, that's how it's done. Scam awareness. Scam awareness. 101. John gets a call, your grandkid's stuck. Voice sounds shaky, begging for $1. Jared hits speaker, asks one more thing. What's their middle name? What's their first dog spring? Nigella's on email, congrats, you won. Prize looks fancy, fees day one.
All right, we're back. The second portion of our live stream. If you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week, every Thursday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. Spread awareness about common scams that target you, your friends, your family, your loved ones. And we're going to be going for at least another hour or so this evening. So there's still plenty of time to share this on Facebook and get some more people in here. Hit that like button, follow, subscribe, give some reactions. Stay high in the chat. Let us know you're watching. Want to hear from you. Feeling generous, feel free to make a super thanks or super chat. We have memberships available over on YouTube as well if you want to help support the mission here. We also have some merch available in our merch store. It's on our YouTube channel and our website. We got some mugs available, water bottles, stickers, all good Scamware 101 merch to help support the mission. You could also donate directly. Scamware101.com/donate. We appreciate anything we could get. Just trying to put something good out there and make a difference and put some kind of dent into these scammers' profits, you know? So, with that said, we're going to continue to some more common scams to be aware of. Yep, I hear you, Dave. That's just where a song ended up cutting out. Shout out to Dave. He made those awesome songs that we just had playing on the break there. This next scam that we're going to talk about. Oh, wait, let's check out how things going over on Instagram and Facebook. Shout out to everybody and anybody on Instagram and Facebook. Good to see you. I'm monitoring the YouTube channel. So if you have questions, want to share a story, YouTube channel is the way to do it. I'll see it a lot quicker. And with that, let's jump into some more common scams here. So we're going to talk about arrest warrant scams. This is when a victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer claims an arrest warrant was issued or will be issued, and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. And look, this goes back to scammers using fear and to create this urgency, right? They want to scare you and they want to get a reaction, right? So it's common for these arrest warrant scam narratives. They'll say that you missed jury duty or that you failed to show in court and now you got to pay fees. And they'll say you got to pay immediately or they're going to arrest you. It's something to keep in mind with this type of scam is the caller ID will show the local sheriff's department, right? We know that scammers can manipulate what the caller ID shows. They do this for banks. They do this for sheriff's office. They'll call you from across the world and it'll say that it's your bank or say your local sheriff's. So you cannot trust caller ID. Even if it looks legit, you still have to hang up. And that's very important, very important. You know, you hear these victim stories and a lot of times they fell for the scam because they thought they could trust caller ID and they can't. You cannot trust caller ID, right? So we have a couple reports here about these arrest warrant scams, which I thought were useful to hear here. And these are all recent reports. These both are from January, right? So a couple months old. And the first report says, a man reportedly from a sheriff's department in a city I used to live said that there was a warrant for my arrest. It was due to not reporting for jury duty. I was not to discuss this with anyone because children were involved. See the request for secrecy? That's that red flag that we mentioned earlier. That's their excuse to get you to stay quiet. They say, you can't discuss this with anyone because children were involved. And then they instructed the victim to go to Walmart and put money on a one account that they would provide a barcode for, right? So all red flags and all very common with arrest warrant scams. This next report says, received a phone call saying they're from the county sheriff and that had 2 charges against me that I had to pay a fee. Was made to stay on the line and was directed to deposit money through a cryptocurrency machine, right? So there's that crypto machine we mentioned, a big red flag. And notice how they made them stay on the phone. The scammers, they'll make you stay on the phone while you drive to deposit money into the cryptocurrency machine because they don't want you to talk to anybody. They keep you on the phone so you can't call anybody for assistance or help. So interesting details in those reports. Again, those are from January, right? It's all recent tactics. Don't trust caller ID. Even if it shows a sheriff's office, don't trust caller ID. And these scammers are also known to provide fake paperwork as well, right? So even if they offer to provide paperwork, you can't trust it, right? The only way to verify this is to hang up and contact whoever the issuing organization supposedly is, right? Whatever county they say they're calling from, for example. But don't trust any contact information they give you, all right? And definitely don't pay over the phone. That's not how this stuff works. If there's going to be a warrant issued, you would have got plenty of notices in the mail. They wouldn't be calling you up over the phone about it. Right? So be aware of these arrest warrant scams. Don't fall for them. Don't let your loved ones fall for them. There's a cool infographic we made about this scam. Warning, how to spot an arrest warrant scam. Right? The scammers impersonate law enforcement. They demand immediate payment. They use deceptive tactics like the fake paperwork and manipulating caller ID. Never trust caller ID. Law enforcement should never be asking for a payment over the phone. And look, the golden rule, we mentioned it a lot, but the golden rule, you got to hang up and verify through official channels, right? Next scam, bank impersonation scams. Look, this is when scammers impersonate the bank, usually claiming suspicious activity was detected under a victim's account. The victims are then tricked into withdrawing and transferring funds to the scammers. The caller ID might even display the bank's phone number, even though it's a scammer. And in this example, see his text message here, verified TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? Reply yes if recognized or no if not. But that's a scam. They're impersonating the bank. They're trying to trick you into replying. And once you reply, they're going to try to get you on the phone. They're going to tell you have to withdraw the money because somebody's in person, somebody has access to your accounts. Right? Don't fall for it. And in fact, there's a little bit of a story that goes along with this example here. The person that provided this text message example, they actually received a phone call right before receiving this text message. Right? They received the phone call. It said TD Bank on the caller ID. Right? They didn't answer. And right after not answering, they got the follow-up text message. Right? So it's an example of how scammers will be persistent. They'll try on the phone. They'll try it through text. No form of communication is safe. And we have a victim story here that we're going to share with you about these bank impersonation scams. And the victim here said, I feel so stupid. This young Connecticut woman had her bank account drained by scammers after answering a trusted Wells Fargo number. Right? That's what happened to her. She didn't realize that you couldn't trust caller ID. Right? She saw Wells Fargo on caller ID, thought, okay, this must be my bank. And even though they were telling her to do strange things, she thought she could trust it because the caller ID said her bank's name. Right? And unfortunately, that happens a lot. And in her case, she said, I got a call from a Wells Fargo number saying I had fraudulent activity on my account and that a random person was being sent money from Zelle. Zelle's another red flag. Zelle's another big problem with scams. Very hard to get your money back when scammers trick you into sending it with Zelle. And in her case, they told her she needed to secure her account by sending money that would go back into her Zelle account afterwards. And it was a lie. It was a trick. And they trick her into transferring money to scammers. Important note about that. When scammers trick you into sending money, that's not covered by the bank, right? That's different than somebody getting access to your bank account and stealing your money. When you're tricked into sending the money to scammers, that's not covered by insurance. You know, the victims call up the bank and the bank says, no, we can't help you. Can't do anything. So awareness is key to preventing this. If you're tricked into sending the money, a lot of times you're never going to get that money back. There's nothing you could do. So awareness is key. And the thing about these bank impersonation scams, again, targeted from all directions, phone calls, emails, text messages. It's a very dangerous scam. But luckily, this is actually an easy one to address, right? So no matter what, whether it's a phone call, an email, a text message claiming to be your bank, right? Ignore what it says. Don't call who it says to call. Don't reply. Don't press 1. Don't click the links, right? What you do, if you're concerned that this type of bank notification is legit, what you do, call the number on the back of your bank card, right? That's it. Call the number on the back of your bank card and say, hey, I got this email, this phone call, this text message, and they'll tell you if it's real or not, right? But don't trust what the text message says. Don't trust what the email says. Don't trust what the phone call says. Even if the caller ID shows your bank's phone number, you can't trust it. You have to hang up and call the number on the back of your debit card or your bank card, right? That's the only way to verify. So I'll do that. Don't fall for these bank impersonation scams. Again, these scammers want to take everything you have. So I would make this cool infographic, Anatomy of a Bank Impersonation Scam. Right? They provide a cover story. Sometimes they'll tell victims to lie to the bank teller. When they instruct you to take money out of the bank, they'll actually tell you to lie to the teller, say that you're taking it out for home improvements and to pay contractors. Right? Because they do this because the bank tellers are actually starting to get trained now to warn you about this stuff. So important to recognize red flags, hang up immediately, and call your bank directly. Just call your bank directly. Can't say it enough. So watch out for these bank impersonation scams. They're a big problem. And look, they impersonate any bank. And sometimes they might even know what bank you already use. So don't fall for it. Next scam we're going to talk about here, wrong number scams. This is actually our most popular video. We released a video about these wrong number scams. It's got over 100,000 views, 102,000 views, which is wild. But yeah, it's our only video that actually went viral. We were usually lucky to get a few thousand views on a video, and that one got 100,000. So I would love to get a few more of those. But these wrong number scams, right? So when scammers, and look, this is a very dangerous scam. You would think that something as innocent as like, oh, a wrong number, it could be as harmful as it is. This is a dangerous scam, right? Basically, the scammers reach new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers. When someone replies, wrong number, or who is this, the scammer attempts to continue the conversation and build a trust with the victim. As trust is gained, this type of scam evolves into a romance or pig butchering scam that ultimately steals money from the victim, right? So let me show you examples of this scam, why it's so dangerous too. Again, it can start off with any kind of message, something, any random thing. Hey, Anna, I'm Josie. Or, excuse me, is this Emma? Or, have a cup of coffee together sometime. Right? You just get these random messages from a number you don't recognize. So your natural reaction is to think, let me reply back. Who is this? Or tell them it's a wrong number. Well, even replying to them lets the scammer know that your phone number is active. Right? So you want to be a kind person and you want to reply and tell them it's a wrong number. But if you do, and it's a scam, now they know to target you more. Right? So right off the bat, they're going to target you more if you reply. So look, if you don't recognize a number, my advice is don't reply. Don't reply. You know, even if you're not sure if it's a scam or not, it's not worth replying. You know, they got the wrong number, they'll figure it out, right? But it's not worth replying and letting you know it's a scammer that your number is active. And to give an example of how this conversation might go, right? Because what happens is once you reply to, not only do they know you have an active number that they're going to target more, but now they're going to try to befriend you. They're going to try to gain your trust. And this is actually known as, it's actually a long-term deception scam. They're going to start texting you every day, right? And this is how it evolves, right? So look, this message starts with a random message says, hi. Okay. Reply back, hi, who's this? Right? The scammer replies, I'm Karina, are you David? We met last week at Linda's party. Reply back, no, sorry, you have the wrong number. Okay. At that point, it should stop, but the scammer continues. Oh my gosh, I checked and found out I entered the wrong area code. I hope this doesn't bother you. That's okay, no problem. Again, conversation should end. It's been established already. It's a wrong number. There's no reason for this person to keep on texting. But because it's a scam, they're going to keep coming at you. Thank you very much. You are a very friendly and polite person. I hope we could be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you? Right? We reply, Pat. Then they start prying. They start trying to get information about you. You have a beautiful name. I'm from Malaysia. Currently living in Los Angeles. Where do you live? Right? They're going to try to get your name, where you live, your age, right? They're going to try to make it seem like it's because they want to be your friend, but they're actually trying to figure out what scam is the best to target you with. Right? This is a very dangerous scam because what happens is it will evolve into a romance scam or a pig butchering scam, right? Very dangerous scams where you try to clear out your bank accounts. And I have one other example of this scam I actually want to show you here. Another example of a wrong number scam. Hi, Byron. I'm Jane. right? Comes in, 1:58 p.m., has a picture attached, because these wrong number scammers, they'll include a picture, right? They'll include some kind of incentive to try and get you to reply back. So, hi, Byron, I'm Jane. They include this picture here. It comes in at 1:58 p.m. But then notice that at 5:58 p.m., 5:58 p.m. on the dot, after no reply, there's a follow-up text. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Okay. So now, the reason I share this example with you is because the initial message comes at 1:58 p.m. There's no reply, no engagement, no interaction. And then 4 hours on the dot, 5:58 p.m., 4 hours exactly, comes a follow-up message. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Okay, I point this out because this is a bot. This isn't even a real person initially doing this wrong number conversation with you. This is a bot that's programmed to send hundreds of thousands of people this exact same text message with the exact same picture. And anybody that doesn't reply, 4 hours later, this bot's programmed to send the follow-up text. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right? It's all automated. It's all automatic. The scammer clicks start and it goes to work. Okay? Eventually, anybody that falls for this and engages with the scammer, provides their information, their name, where they're from, right? Anybody that does that, then it gets handed off to a real scammer. Right? And the real scammer, that's when things get really dangerous, right? They'll be sending you AI-generated pictures, AI-generated videos. They'll be messaging you every day. They're going to be building up your trust, right? Building up a friendship, right? So you'll be 2 weeks in. You'll be text messaging this person every day, right? Whether it's a romantic exchange or just a friendly exchange where these person, hey, how are you, right? But after 2 weeks or so, 1 week or 2 weeks, they're going to start hitting you with the scam, right? They're going to hit you with hey, I'm a part of an investment group. You should join. You're my friend now. I'll let you into the investment group, right? Or they might hit you with the romance scam where it's like, hey, I can't meet you in person because I'm having visa issues or medical issues or I'm overseas, right? And that's what happens. Something as innocent as these wrong number text messages, right, evolve into an extremely dangerous scam. So don't be fooled by these wrong number messages. The same messages are going out to hundreds and thousands of people, and they're trying to trick you into engaging. Don't fall for it. It's a big problem, and it's very dangerous. Don't underestimate these wrong number scams. Again, you get a wrong number text message, the best thing you do is just not reply at all. That's our recommendation. So watch out for these wrong number scams. They're a big problem. Hey, Katie. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Always good to see you. Shout out to Katie, one of our members. Shout out to Dave, one of our members. We have YouTube memberships enabled, so always appreciate your support over there. The next scam we'll be talking about. And by the way, let me know what scams you've been seeing in the chat. I want to hear from you guys. Anybody's just joining? Make sure to hit that like button too. Let's get some more people in here. We're going to about 8 o'clock-ish, so we still have some more good stuff coming up here. But this next scam that we're going to talk about, faith-based group leader impersonation scams. And look, I was actually surprised to see how common this scam was. This is when scammers pose as trusted religious leaders, such as priests, rabbis, or pastors, to deceive members of their community. Right? They reach out with an urgent request from one of your gift cards. And the victims think that they're talking to their priest or their rabbi or a pastor. They think it's somebody they could trust. And they get tricked. Right? And you might be thinking to yourself, well, how much money could they lose? You can lose a lot with these gift card scams. And here's a couple of reports. These are all from January of this year. So just a couple months ago. Right? And these weren't even all the reports. These are just a few of them that I grabbed for the sake of sharing. But here's the first report. Contacted by our pastor. He needed help getting some gift cards for cancer patients in the hospital. Right? So look what these scammers are doing. They're creating fake email addresses that look like your pastor or look like your rabbi or look like your priest. Right? They're reaching out to you saying that they're trying to get gift cards for sick people in the hospital, cancer patients. Right? But it's a scam. How low is that? That's pretty low. Right? It's pretty low for these scammers to do. But they know no bounds. Okay? Another report. The person impersonates a pastor from our church in South San Francisco. Asked to send money for Brazil because he has a personal emergency, right? So there he is impersonating their pastor, claiming he's in Brazil and needs help. So, people are probably quick to want to help their pastor if they're in Brazil, but it's a scam. Okay. Another report. I received an email that appears to be from my priest. He asked me to buy 10 Amazon gift cards immediately. He needed to send them out, right? So now think about this. The scammer's asking, he's impersonating your priest, right? He's asking for 10 gift cards. He's probably asking, they're probably about 500 each he's asking for. That's a $5,000 scam right there, right? You think you're helping out your priest, right? If anybody's going to pay you back or reimburse you, it'll be your priest, you think. It's a scam. It's not your priest, it's a scammer. They'll make an email address that looks like it's from your priest, but it's not. And then here's another report. Because look, this goes across all different faiths, right? Someone saying they were my rabbi. So there we go. They're targeting synagogue members, right? Someone's saying they were my rabbi, asking me to get 5 Target gift cards, $500 each for sick people. $2,500 scam right there. Okay. So that's what these scammers are doing. It's never too low for these scammers to go. All right. They're impersonating pastors, priests, rabbis. They're trying to trick you into giving them gift cards, saying that they're going to help cancer patients, right? But it's thousands of dollars. We're talking like $5,000 scam. That one for 5 Target gift cards, $500. That's a $2,500 scam. Okay. So what can you do to protect yourself from this type of scam? Because it's not even just the faith-based leaders, like any type of community leader that these scammers will impersonate. They'll make email addresses that look like a family member. They reverse a letter or leave a letter out. Friends, family. They try to trick you into thinking you're talking to somebody you know when you're really not. All right. So one of the first things you need to do, inspect the email address carefully. Right. Scammers often impersonate trusted contacts, friends, family, coworkers, or community leaders by using fake email addresses. Always examine and confirm the sender's email address is legitimate. Even one letter in an email address can mean it's fake. And here's the thing. Even if it is their email address, the scammer might have hacked into your friend's or your priest, your rabbi's email address. So you still can't just trust the email itself, right? Especially if it's a request for gift cards. As we mentioned earlier, that's a huge red flag. Okay. So you always have to verify through a second communication channel. If you get some kind of email like this or some request, whether social media or email, right? They get hacked all the time. You need to verify through a second channel. Okay. Call the person up directly, talk to them on the phone, call the main office directly, confirm with the main office that the request is real. You can't rely solely on emails or messages, right? And then third, gift card request should be considered a red flag. Got to nail that one home over and over again. Okay. We know that scammers love to get paid in these gift cards, and they get a lot of money, as you can see, right? They were asking that victim to buy 10 $500 gift cards. It's a $5,000 scam. So they can make big money off these gift cards. We know that scammers love to receive these gift cards because once you send them a picture of the gift card, because you don't have to send the gift card itself, you just send a picture. That's it. It's done. They clear it out. They have the funds, and that gift card that's in your hand is worthless, right? So it's always a red flag if they're asking for gift cards. So watch out for these faith-based organization impersonation scams. Again, I was surprised to see how many reports there were. And it goes across all religions, right? Pastors, priests, rabbis, they don't care. The scammers are impersonating them all. So be aware of that. Oh, and by the way, I just want to take a moment to mention as well, one of the few things that we do to actually make some money over here at ScamAware 101, we will do group presentations for your group, right? So if you're interested in a group presentation for your church or your synagogue or your community center or your HOA, reach out to us. Our info is on our website. Contact us through email. Ask about a group presentation, for your church, synagogue, community group, HOA, pretty much any group. We could do a group presentation for you, and we'll do a Q&A as well. So the members can ask questions and make sure that they, leave being aware, not falling for a scam. So anyway, watch out for these faith-based organization impersonation scams. Next scams we're going to talk about here. Crypto exchange impersonation scams, right? Coinbase, Gemini. Let me know in the chat if you exchange a little crypto or you own a little crypto. I've definitely had my fun with some crypto. But I'm going to share 2 examples of these crypto exchange impersonation scams. And they work very similar to these bank impersonation scams. The scammer calls you up. They say they're calling from a Coinbase, which is an exchange, or they say they're calling from Gemini. They say there's suspicious activity, use the same kind of excuses that the bank does, or the bank impersonation scammers do. and they try to get into your crypto accounts. All right, so let's take a listen to this first phone call here. This one impersonates Coinbase, and I actually answered and recorded this one. So just to give you an idea how it would go, let's take a listen.
This is about your crypto accounts or Coinbase, your digital asset platform account.
Oh, what's going on?
Well, sir, with our file, there is a registered Coinbase account under your information, and we have your request that there's a request of changing your primary email address from this account. So we are calling you for the verification whether are you the one who authorizing this request to change your email or not.
No, that wasn't me.
Okay. So when was the last time you were active to your Coinbase account? Do you remember that?
I'm not sure. Can't you tell from over there?
Well, sir, right now, as I can see, there are some of the recent login we have detected by our server. And as I can see, the requests which are coming from, it is from the different IP location in foreign country, in Mexico. The next login we have found, it is in the New Jersey. So among these two locations, can you please verify me which one could be a recent or it could be a last location from where you have monitored your account? Is that from New Jersey or it is from the Mexico, the country?
I travel, so it might have been both. And then they hung up. They didn't like that. They didn't like that answer, so they hung up on me. But what's interesting about that is I want to point out is that they said New Jersey. And the reason why they said New Jersey, I figured out after the fact. I think Dave actually mentioned in the chat when we were talking about it. But it's because they saw the area code on my phone number. It's a New Jersey area code. So what they do is they call up and they kind of know what state to try and use when they say, which one was legit when you called it or you logged in from, right? So that's an example of how they seem to know things about you, right? They knew to say New Jersey, and you're thinking, well, someone might think, well, if they knew it was New Jersey, so maybe they actually looked at your phone number, saw it was New Jersey phone number, and that's why I said New Jersey, right? Clever. The scammers are clever, and that's why I say just because they know stuff about you, you can't trust the incoming call, right? The scammers will know things about you. Let's listen to the second example of a crypto exchange impersonation scam. This one impersonates Gemini. There's another popular crypto exchange. And this is just a voicemail. It's not a whole phone call.
This is an automated call from Gemini. A new device has logged in from Singapore. If this was not made by you, press 1 to be connected to one of our representatives.
So it's a classic example of you press 1 and it actually transfer you to a scammer, right? A scammer is going to impersonate Gemini, right? And it works the same way that these bank scams do, where they call you up and say press 1, or some of the other examples we played earlier where they trick you into calling up and press 1. What was it? The fake order scam phone calls, right? So look, if you get these types of phone calls claiming to be Coinbase, claiming to be Gemini, the same rule applies. Don't call the numbers back. Don't press 1. Don't click on any links if it's a text message or email. What you do, check your accounts directly. Check your Coinbase account directly. Check Gemini account directly. Or look up their official phone numbers and make sure you're calling Gemini on their real phone number, not a scammer's phone number or Coinbase, right? So watch out for these crypto exchange impersonation scams. A lot of people losing money to crypto scams. So don't fall for it. Be aware. Next scam we're going to talk about here, fake retail website scams. When scammers create a fake website to sell products that are never delivered. Victims are lured in by unbeatable deals and lose money once they pay. These scams often target holiday shoppers, but they're active all year round, these fake websites trying to trick you. And one example I'm going to share with you here. Here's a screenshot of a scam website over the holidays, fake retail website. And they're offering free wireless earbuds, right? They're using hot and popular items to try and fool people. Right, so you have the earbuds there, and they say it's free, just pay for shipping. That's a common scammer narrative. They try to trick you into thinking you're going to get this $200 product, and all you have to do is pay shipping. Well, what they're actually going to do is steal whatever payment details you enter. and the product never arrives. So it's a clever way to steal your payment details. So really, if it seems, the rule is, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Right? It's like that with other scams too, prize and lottery scams. Someone calls you up, tells you one publisher clearinghouse. Right? Be suspicious. It's a common scam. Right? If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Right? So make sure to do your due diligence. But look, these fake retail websites, you can end up on these fake websites in a lot of different ways. We mentioned earlier how somebody was searching for a Stanley steamer, right? And she did a search and she ended up clicking on a sponsored listing that was actually a scam website that scammers paid for a sponsored listing. And that's how she ended up on the fake website. So ads on social media, ads on sponsored listings on search results, right? Those are two very common ways you could end up on a fake retail website. Just because you see an ad on social media doesn't mean it's safe. Just because a result on Google is a sponsored listing, that doesn't mean it's safe, right? Scammers purchase those listings and those ads just like everybody else does. In fact, Facebook is getting sued right now because of these ads. And every week I kind of mentioned how the ads on Facebook are a big problem. They really, so many scams. So be aware of that. You could also end up on these fake websites from emails, right? You get an email that says valued customer discount or free wireless earbuds. Click here. Right? And you click those links, they take you to these fake retail websites. You have to be suspicious about it. If you weren't expecting the email, you don't know who it's from, don't trust it, right? Don't click those links. Don't trust it. All right. And then you could, even if you're on a trusted website, that's the other thing to keep in mind. You could be on a trusted website. They use third-party advertisers. So you'll be on a trusted website, a banner ad pops up, but the scammer purchased that ad. You click the banner ad, it takes you to a fake website. So even if you're on legit websites, they can have ads that take you to fake scammer websites. So you just have to have your guard up and be suspicious, right? If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If you're getting tempted to purchase something from a website that you've never used before, check the reviews, see what other people are saying, right? Do your due diligence. Don't use your debit card. If you have to, use a credit card because at least you have some kind of protection with a credit card. But it's suspicious, right? Something sounds too good to be true. Don't fall for it. This next scam we're going to talk about. Looks like we're actually a little bit of ahead schedule here. Next scam we're going to talk about is Medicare scams. And especially now, these scams are getting so bad now because, especially in America right now, with everything going on with healthcare and the government and Social Security and just all this stuff, nobody knows what the heck's going on. And every day it's something else that you're hearing and changes and updates. It causes confusion, right? And these scammers know that and they take advantage of that, right? Especially this time of year where I think changes just went in effect through Social Security a month or two ago, right? So you have these Medicare scams. The scammers call up and they impersonate your healthcare provider. Hold on, let's see. Katie says, I've gotten 2 fake Amazon calls the other day, but I didn't answer though. Good. Yeah, Amazon, well, good that you didn't answer. I mean, not good that you got the calls. But Amazon, very popular for these scammers to impersonate, right? We played that one phone call before. And after this Medicare scam, I'll show you another example of an Amazon refund scam that's circulating. But as far as the Medicare scams go, right, scammers they'll impersonate your health provider. They'll impersonate Medicare to steal your Medicare information because they actually want to file false claims. They want to file false claims and get reimbursed, right? So they steal your Medicare number and your other personal information. Sometimes they'll ask your date of birth. They'll ask when your date of service started, right? So they'll get all this information so they can file false claims. And guess who gets stuck paying for the false claims? Either your insurance provider, Medicare provider, or they're going to send the claims back to you to pay, right? So you could get stuck paying for these as well. So it's important not to give away your medical information to these callers. And look, they impersonate Medicare, insurance providers, pharmacies. They impersonate doctors' offices and physicians, right? And the thing is, they'll know. A lot of these scammers know who your doctor is. They know what pharmacies you use, right? And it's because of data breaches. Your information, unfortunately, our medical information has been stolen through so many third parties that now these scammers, they know who to impersonate. Let's see. Megan says she's swimming in Medicare scams every day with her patients. Yeah, Megan works over in a medical office. Every day they're getting calls with Medicare scams. And their patients call They call and they'll say that they'll say your office called me because the caller ID showed the doctor's phone number, even though it wasn't the doctor, right? It's another example of these scams where the scammers, they'll show your doctor's phone number on caller ID, your pharmacy's name on caller ID, because they'll know these things already about you. You can never trust these incoming calls. And look, the doctors are aware of this. Your doctor's office is aware of this. The pharmacies are aware of this. Like, if you tell someone calling you up that's claiming to be your doctor, claiming to be Medicare, if you say, I'm going to hang up, and you call back directly, that's the right thing to do. A real doctor's office, a real insurance provider, a real pharmacy will be okay with you hanging up and calling back because they know that these scams are a really big problem, right? So don't get suckered into giving away your personal information to an unsolicited caller. It doesn't matter if they say you're from a doctor's office. It doesn't matter if they say they're Medicare. Some common narratives they use. They'll say they're offering free medical supplies, right? Sometimes they'll say they're providing a new Medicare card and they need to verify your current information first. But that's just a trick to get your Medicare card number. Sometimes they'll say there's updates to your Medicare benefits and they need to confirm your information, but they're just trying to steal your personal information. Date of birth, Medicare number, service start date. And again, sometimes they'll know things about you. They might know your social security number or part of your social security number, right? And they'll say that to try and trick you. You could trust me. I know your social security number. It's a scam. It's a trick, right? Always got to hang up, just like all the other scams. You have to hang up and then verify through official channels. Yeah, Katie's mentioning if your church needs to raise money, they will announce fundraisers during the service or have them listed in the newsletter. There you go, right? Don't trust those random emails. So anyway, watch out for these Medicare scams. They're a big problem. They're getting worse and worse. They've always been a big problem. And don't fall for it. So it looks like we're 10 minutes ahead of schedule here. I want to show you another example of some Amazon impersonation scams, since we're ahead of schedule by a couple minutes. Actually, I'll show you a couple of recent phishing email scams. So here's an example of an email. Phishing email that impersonates Amazon. Action required. Update your account. We've noticed that some of your account information needs to be updated to ensure uninterrupted service and enhance security. And it says, please verify your contact information, payment methods, and shipping addresses. Then has a button to click update account information. Or if you get an email like this, don't click that button. It's going to take you to a fake website. If you're concerned that the notification is real, go to your Amazon account directly, right? Check your Amazon account directly. Don't trust the link. Don't click these buttons. Amazon is definitely impersonated a lot, whether it's phone calls, like the phone call I played earlier, or an email like this. And also, here's a text message. This is a refund scam. And this one impersonates Amazon as well. You can see this one was a group text. Went out to a whole bunch of people. And it says, Amazon, refund for an item in your recent order. As part of our routine quality inspection, we discovered that one of the items might not satisfy our usual quality criteria. This may be because of differences in materials or a potential problem affecting its quality or functionality. To make amends, we have issued a full refund for that item. You do not need to return it. Please keep or dispose of it at your convenience. Check your refund details here. But then it has the link to supposedly check this refund. That's the scam. You click that link, you're going to be taken to a website. It steals your personal details. Probably steals your Amazon login. So this is a common scam that's circulating right now, claiming that you have a refund. Try an Amazon refund. And they try to trick you into clicking that link. So don't fall for that scam. This one was reported about a month or so ago. So that's pretty active too. So watch out for that. So look, that's 3 different Amazon impersonation scams, right? There's a text message scam, an email scam, the recording scam that we played earlier, right? So Amazon's getting impersonated a lot out there. Another impersonation scam to watch out for, ChatGPT, right? Because scammers, they adapt. They pay attention to what services are becoming more popular, right? And they know a lot of people are using ChatGPT now, so they send out these fake emails claiming that your ChatGPT Plus access is going to be interrupted. And it claims you need to update your subscription, your payment details, right? But you click that link, it's going to take you to a fake website, looks like ChatGPT, and they're going to steal your payment details. So watch out for that one too. That one started circulating towards the end of last year. You don't want to fall for it. Oh, cool. So Katie says her pastor notifies members if a fake fund request is circulating among the congregation via email, due to most of the members being elderly. Well, that's good that they're warning the members there. That's very good that they're warning them, because they really every church and faith-based group should be warning their members at this point, because it is a problem. Let's see. Let's see if I can find a couple more examples to share with you. It might be circulating. You know, I talked about Coinbase earlier. I played you a message. Here's an example of a email that might go out. Right? Confirm email ownership. They send you an email. It went to my old email address. And they got the button to say verify email ownership. But it's a scam. You click that link, you're going to be taken to a fake website. It's going to try to steal your Coinbase login. Right, so that's an email version of a Coinbase impersonation scam. Netflix, right? You get an email impersonating Netflix telling you to update your information. It's a common scam. McAfee, fake McAfee message. This one's pretty common. We see a lot of reports about this McAfee invoice. We talked about fake invoice scams earlier. And this is an example of a fake order scam. The idea is you're going to click view invoice, and it's either going to try to trick you into paying this or providing your payment details, right? Or they're going to say, if this isn't you, they're going to try to do a refund scam on you to steal your payment details. So watch out for this scam. And another one that's pretty common and circulating is the Geek Squad scam. It works the same way as the McAfee one does. They try to say that, you know, your service is going to renew, and if it's not you, to call customer support. Now, there's no limit to who these scammers impersonate. If you want to see more phishing email scams, we released a series of phishing email examples. One of the first videos we actually released was a whole bunch of phishing examples. So you can check out those videos, share them with a friend, and make sure to hit that like button, of course. So yeah, watch out for those phishing email scams. All right, cool. If you just joined, welcome to the live stream. Let's make a note here that I did that so I have it on the agenda for next time. Oh, yeah. Yep, of course. Yeah, Amy, Katie says, if you don't use it, such as Amazon or Netflix, and you see an email from them, it's a scam. Yeah, exactly. You know, I get emails all the time for like services I don't use. In fact, that Netflix one, my Netflix account, you know, I use my roommate's Netflix account. So there's no reason I should be getting Netflix emails. So you know right away when you get them. A lot of those crypto exchange emails, you know, you don't use crypto, and you shouldn't be getting any of these crypto exchange emails. All good tips, Katie. Thank you. All right, so that's all the examples we have on our list, but we're not done yet. We're still going to go for about another 30 minutes or so here, and we're going to go over the tools and software section on the Scamware 101 website, because there is a lot of useful tools here, a lot of useful free tools. All right, so I just want to take a minute. We'll talk a little bit about what we have available here on the online tools and software section of our website on Scamware 101, and then after that, we're going to take a look at the AARP scam tracking map and check out some scams that are being reported to the AARP. All right, but first of all, on our website, Scamware 101, and when you go there, make sure to join the free mailing list. Right on the homepage, click Join Mailing List. Again, it's free to join. Best way to keep up to date with what we're doing here. We'll send you reminders when we put new content up, reminders about when we're going live. Also, follow us on our favorite social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, Threads, X, Instagram. We have links right here on our homepage. We have the link to our merch shop here. You get yourself a coffee mug and travel mugs, stickers, mouse pads, water bottles. Help support the mission. We appreciate you. We have super thanks and super chats enabled, if I'm saying that right, over on YouTube. So we always appreciate that. And of course, memberships. We got our members, Dave and Katie, with us tonight. Appreciate both of you. Thank you so much for the support, always. And when you're on our website here, we have the tools and software section. That's where we're going to take a couple minutes to talk about before we check out the ARP website. So the first group of links that we have here under online tools and software are data breach lookup tools. Right, so we mentioned this a few times already. When I mentioned that these scammers, they'll know things about you, right? They might know who your doctor is. They might know what pharmacies you use, right? They might know your social security number. How do they know these things? Because of data breaches. All these third parties that you've provided your information to in the past, many of them you had no choice and you had to provide your information to them, right? They forced you to, right? And they didn't protect your information. They got breached. Your information gets stolen, and now it's sold on the dark web, right? Scammers are buying your information and they use that information to scam you, right? Now they know things about you. So one of the ways that you could fight back is we have these data breach lookup tools, right? We have a link to 4 different data breach tools here. They're all legit. You could trust all 4 of these links, right? And what you do is some of them ask for an email address, some ask for a phone number, some of them you can do both. If they let you do both, I recommend doing both, right? It's free to do these lookups and get a report, okay? You put in your email address. What it does is it tells you all these data breaches and what information has been exposed linked to your email address, right? It will even give you some logins, right? If your logins and passwords have been exposed, it might come back and tell you your passwords, right? And that's important to know, right? If a password you use has been breached and it's out there, right? It's important for you to know that so you can change your password and not use that password anymore, right? So that's why we have these data breach lookup tools here. Have I been pwned? Personal data leak checker, malware bytes, digital footprint, privacy lock. I think that one's by McAfee. Yep. And look, use them and find out what accounts have been breached, right? Because you might be surprised. You might be shocked actually to find out what passwords are out there. Again, you can trust them. They're safe to give your info to. They might try to pitch you monitoring afterwards. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to pay for anything. You still get the free report, right? So it's worth doing a lookup and seeing what information of yours is exposed. So check out those links and see what's out there about yourself. Hey Liz, welcome to the live stream. Always good to see you. We're just going over some of the tools and software that's available on the scamaware101.com website here. We also have a couple links to some affiliates that we signed up for. And look, I don't put my name on anything that I don't use or trust or test it. And I know NordPass is a great password manager. Same company makes NordVPN. I actually use NordVPN. Right, I have it. I use it. Malwarebytes Premium. Malwarebytes is a great company. I've used them for years. Anybody involved in the tech industry has probably used Malwarebytes before. Right, so they're all legit companies, all reliable companies, all well-known companies. And what I did is I signed up as an affiliate, and I just went and I found the best deal I could, the best links available under those as an affiliate. So I put the links here, and if you have any interest in signing up for a password manager like NordPass or a VPN like NordVPN or a malware scanner like Malwarebytes Premium, right? Here's some links where you can save a pretty good chunk of change. From NordPass, 56% off plus 3 months. NordVPN, 72% off for a year, up to a year free. Malwarebytes, 25% off. So keep that in mind. If you're in the market for a password manager or VPN or some virus software, use my link and save some money. And then we get a little bit of a commission too. So then we have some free links here. One goes to Malwarebytes Browser Guard, which I use this as well. I have it installed. It's running right now. And it's an extension for your browser. It blocks a bunch of ads, pop-ups, things like that to try and keep you safe. And we have a link to Malwarebytes Free, where if your computer's running slow, you think you have something bad on it, you can download Malwarebytes Free and run it on your computer to clean it up. Of course, they're going to try to get you to upgrade. You don't have to, right? But you can download the free version. You can run a scan, and it will remove anything dangerous you have on your computer. So the links are there for easy access. Another section over here under our tools and online software section is we have reverse image lookup tools. Now, because of AI, unfortunately, these are becoming less and less useful, right? They're still useful, but because of AI, scammers are kind of getting past them. But the way that reverse image lookups work is they're most useful for like romance scams. You meet someone online on social media. they stole someone else's pictures, right? What you could do is you take their pictures, you run them through these reverse image lookup tools. TinEye reverse image lookup, Bing visual search, Google image search. And what it will do is it'll let you know if it found those images anywhere else on the internet. And if it does, that means that the images were probably stolen, right? If you see someone using pictures that you find somebody else using the same pictures, one of them's lying, right? So you use these reverse image lookup tools, and they're useful. They're useful to add to your arsenal, right? Your arsenal of scam protection tools, especially if you're on dating websites and dating apps, right? You want to definitely use these reverse image lookup tools. We also have a few links to some website safety lookup tools, right? We mentioned earlier about these fake retail websites that have all these products and too good to be true deals listed that are trying to scam you. Right, so we have a couple lookup tools here. We have a link to Norton Safe Web, which will tell you if there's any ratings or reviews that people made about the website. Google Safe Browsing, it'll tell you if the website was detected as being unsafe or dangerous to visit. Virus Total, it'll analyze the website, tell you if it found any malware or other breaches reported. Right, so all useful tools to add to your arsenal. Look, nothing's 100% though, right? So you got to keep your guard up no matter what. But these tools, add them to your arsenal, use them. It's an extra layer of protection. And bookmark our tools page, right? The links are here right for you. So scamaware101.com, click online software and tools. And then the last two links that we have here on this page are links to some scam tracker maps, right? The first one is to the BBB scam tracker tool. And the second one is to the ARP scam tracking map. And what these are, they're just useful tools where people have reported scams to. And you can go check it out, see which scams have recently been reported. You can check the scams that are being reported in your area if you want to, see it specifically. And what we're actually going to do for the next 15 minutes or so is we're going to browse the ARP scam tracking map, and we're going to see what scams are being reported right now throughout the country, right? And we're going to see if the ones we talked about are still being reported, and we're going to see if there's any that we didn't talk about that are worth talking about. So, with that said, let's go check out the ARP scam tracking map and see what reports are coming in here. And make sure to click that like button if you haven't yet. It really does help. All right, so here's all the reports on the ARP scam tracking website. And we see the most recent reports are from April 21st. So 2 days ago, right? So these are very recent scams. They've been reported 2 days ago, very active. And we definitely have to keep our guard and be aware of these so we don't get targeted. So let's see what we have being reported here. Ordered battery from Temu, didn't receive the battery, and they want me to accept more of their junk as money return instead. Well, not much I can say about that, right? You're using Temu, you just got to be careful who you're getting it from. Especially if you order something, they don't send it. Don't give them any more money or buy anything else from them. But we don't really typically talk about that type of scam, but just like any online ordering, be suspicious who you're ordering from and be careful. This next scam, traffic division court notice. This goes back to the one we just talked about. Actually, perfect. I still have the examples up. So this person's warning about... Bear with me, I'm just bringing up the slide. Where is it? This scam that I talked about earlier, right? The scam that has the fake traffic violations, but they look very realistic. This is the one that has the state logos at the top of it, right? Here's a New Jersey example, Massachusetts example, Florida example. They're in every state at this point, though. I've seen New York, Illinois, list goes on. All right, but that's what, oops, hold on a sec. Am I showing the right screen? Hold on. Nope, my bad. Hold on a sec. There you go. This is the screen. This is the report that she's talking about. These traffic violations here. State of New Jersey, Massachusetts, Florida. See how realistic they look? So don't fall for these. These are circulating. They started popping up just over a month or so ago. This scam started being reported. And it still is. So that's what this person's reporting right here, is traffic division court notice. And that was 2 days ago. So we know this one's actively circulating still. Don't fall for it. Fraudulent sales scam. This is in regards to the app and website Whatnot. Let's see what this says. Because Whatnot is another marketing style website. You have to, just like Facebook Marketplace or any other online market website, you have to be aware of these various scams. Let's see what this person's reporting. There's an online bidding site where you slide a bid bar. Each seller does what is called a show, displaying their items. I've been scammed 5 times now by people claiming to sell. Well, I don't know what to say about 5 times. It's pretty bad. Jewelry items, low bid starting at 1. I usually watch these sales events during the middle right. Increases. Some sellers are legit, and my items arrived as promised. Now I'm finding that you will win an auction. The tracking info will show. Item was picked up by USPS. Then for weeks, the items will not be shown as delayed in transit. Or items will be shown as delayed. So this person says that luckily they could report it to Whatnot and get refunds. So at least be aware of that. You know, if you get scammed on Whatnot, at least report it and try to get a refund. Yeah, keep your guard up, right? Any kind of marketing style website. Yep, Katie mentions the that traffic ticket one. It's a spray and pray scam. And what that means is they're just sending out hundreds of thousands of texts and emails, and they know it's a numbers game, right? They know that a certain amount of people are going to fall for them. And that's what they do. That's why we get so many. In fact, I've had people like, they visit Florida, for example. It's like the 1 week out of the year they're in Florida, and suddenly they get a text saying that they have a sun pass toll due. And they ask me, they're like, how did the scammer know I was in Florida? And my answer is they didn't, right? They're sending out this text to hundreds and thousands of people, and they know that when they hit a certain amount of people, a certain amount of people might have been in Florida, right? Or would have been in Florida. Let's see, what's this on? Text claiming I have an outstanding traffic violation and threats to suspend my driver's license and car registration, right? So this one, is this a text? Okay, good. So this is the text version. Look, this is why we go over these every week. Like, I know maybe for some people it feels a little repetitive out there. I mean, for myself, it even feels repetitive. But these scams, they're happening. They're not going anywhere. So every week I have to cover them. But look, this is the one that the person's reporting. We covered it earlier. These text messages claiming they have a traffic ticket and they have all this threatening language. Right? They're going to report you to the DMV. They're going to suspend your vehicle registration. They're going to suspend your driving privileges. They're going to transfer to the toll booth and charge you 35%. They're going to prosecute you, affect your credit score. Right? They're using fear to try and get a reaction out of you. So that's what this person's reporting here. So look, lots of these fake traffic violation tickets. Like Katie said, you know they're a scam because you don't drive, but everybody that does. Let's check out second page here. Received numerous calls from imposters saying they represent McAfee. I showed you the email version of that scam, right? Well, here's somebody reporting the phone call version of that scam. And this goes back to what I mentioned earlier about, look, if there's a text message scam, there's probably an email version. If there's an email version, there's probably a phone call version, right? Scammers, they use every communication method they can, right? So just because you get a phone call claiming to be from McAfee doesn't mean you could trust it any more than the email that claimed that was McAfee. Debt-related scam. State Alabama Municipal Court, St. Louis County Traffic Court Enforcement. Oh, okay. They put this as a debt-related scam, but this is just another example of the fake traffic ticket scam, except this one claims that it's St. Louis County. Same scam, different location, right? Once it's in one place, it's in every other place. Online relationship scam. A text was sent complaining about a barking dog in the neighborhood, but the phone number was Florida. Let's see, what does that go to? This could be one of those deception ones that... Yep. So here we go. This is a good example. The person got a text message sent complaining about a barking dog in the neighborhood, but the phone number was for Florida. Conversation began making connections and finding similarities. This is a wrong number scam, right? So this is an example. This one got started by saying your dog is barking. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the wrong number. Let's be friends. You seem nice. Is another creative way to start these wrong number scams. Whether it's, let's have a coffee sometime. Who is this? Oh, well, you seem nice anyway. Let's be friends. That's what these wrong number scams do. They pretend that they got you through a wrong number. They try to be your friend. So that's what happened to this person. And then it evolved into a romance scam. Because that's what they do. They start with these wrong number scams, and then it evolves into a romance or a pig butchering scam. And that's we talked about that earlier in a live stream. Also, make sure to check out our wrong number scam video. 102,000 views, right? So check out the wrong number scam video. That's what this is all about here. Let's see. They exchanged conversations for texts for 3 days. The sender requested the recipient move to Telegram to continue the conversation, right? This follows the playbook. This is exactly what we were talking about earlier. You know, they send you the wrong number, and then they say, hey, you seem nice. Let's keep talking on WhatsApp or Telegram. They flatter you. The conversation included many flattering comments. Invitation to video chat, right, where they use AI. After 3 days, a family member was told about this new friend who immediately identified it as a catfishing scam. Good. And with some difficulty was able to shut it down. Thankfully, it not escalated. So this person, luckily, they caught it. Their family member, and note how it says difficulty. It said, after 3 days, a family member was told about this new friend who immediately identified it as a catfishing scam and with some difficulty was able to shut it down. That's how convincing they are. These people. It's like, no, it's not a scammer. I've been talking to them for days. They're friendly. And it's part of a scam. It's a long-term deception scam. So watch out for these wrong number text messages. Again, you think that something's so innocent as a wrong number text, but really they evolve into these crypto scams and these pig butchering scams, these romance scams. They're dangerous. So make sure and see how the family members who warned them. So look, that's where you come in, right? If you guys think that you're too smart to fall for a scam, well, you know what? Maybe your family members aren't. So you have to be aware of it. So when they tell you about this stuff, you know, no, this is a scam. Go check out Scamware 101. He talks about it all the time. Let's see what the next one is here. By the way, anybody just joining, we're just checking out some of the recent scam reports on the AARP scam tracker map. So make sure to hit that like button, say hi in the chat, let us know you're watching. Probably going to wrap up about 10 minutes or so. But we're going to check out a few more reports here before we do. Make sure to sign up for our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. You guys free to join. We'll send you some reminders. We're going live, some recent content. Follow us on all your favorite social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky X. Of course, like, follow, and subscribe. Really does help. Received an email that was supposed to be PayPal. It was not. It was a scam. Yep. PayPal is impersonated often. Let me see if I'll give you some examples of that real quick too. There's an example of a PayPal impersonation. Where is it? Do I not have it here? I definitely have it, but I might not. Oh, there it is. Cool. I got it. I got it. Not an example of it. I have the example somewhere, but you know what? Since just for the sake of saving time, here's a report from late last year. They got an email claiming to be from PayPal, claiming they had purchased Bitcoin. They called back the number thinking they were talking to PayPal. They were actually talking to the scammer. The scammer asked them to install AnyDesk, which, by the way, that's a red flag if they ask you to install an app like AnyDesk because they're trying to connect your PC and your device. Warned you about that on the red flags that we talked about earlier. If you missed us talking about red flags, check out our videos. We got 2 videos about red flags, and we mentioned, we mentioned remotely connecting like this and gift cards too. Right? They mentioned they want them to send gift cards. So, but PayPal impersonation scams. Emails, phone calls, don't fall for them. Extremely common. Hey, if you just joined, make sure to hit like, give us some reactions in the chat. And let's check out this last page of scams. So these last 4 scam reports. Debt-related scam. Someone tried to open a Chase credit card in my name and address. Fortunately, I had my credit frozen with all 3. Oh, good. This gives us something to mention here. She says, luckily, I had my credit frozen with all 3 agencies, so Chase sent a letter that they couldn't process it. Weird thing is, Chase insists they can't tell where the application came from, which I struggled to believe. Look, that goes back to why these scammers do this, right? In her case, She was notified that someone tried to create a bank account or a credit card, right? It got blocked. And then she notifies it, and they don't do anything about it. Well, it got blocked, whatever. Meanwhile, the scammer just keeps on going. Who knows how many other credit cards this scammer's trying to get under people's names, right? And it's sad, but we really don't, nobody's out there for us. You can't rely on the bank. You can't rely on Zelle. You can't rely on the police even. Like, these scammers are out of the country. What's your local police station got to do about these scammers out of the country? So, unfortunately, and this is one of the reasons why I started Scamware 101, is awareness is key. Awareness is your best defense against scams, because after the fact, look, this lady, for example, lady, guy, I don't know if it's a woman or a male or whoever, but this person, for example, they were aware of scams. So they froze their credit accounts, right? Which, by the way, that's a good safety measure to do. You could still use your credit, but what you could do is you could do something called freezing your credit accounts with the agencies. And what happens is if somebody tries to open a new account or get a loan under your name, it gets blocked because you froze your accounts like that. The only time it's a headache is if you want to actually get a loan or a credit card, then you have to unlock them. No big deal. You log in the sites, you unlock them, right? But because this person was aware, right, they froze their credit accounts and the scammer couldn't create that account, right? But if they hadn't done that, what help would the company have been? You know, so awareness is key. It really is your best defense. And this is a great example about how it was, you know, in her case, it was her case, his case, whatever. So anyway, that was a cool report there. Yep. Katie was mentioned. There are a lot of scam baiting channels that step you through the fake PayPal scams. Yeah, right. The PayPal scams are so common now. So you see them a lot on the scam baiting channels. Tech support scams and fraud. Email to renew my Geek Squad. I just showed you this example. This is great. A lot of examples I already showed you. I mean, the reports are all there. We just brought up that Geek Squad email scam that they reported. Let's see. In their case, it was for $481. How much was our example? I'm just curious if it's the exact same amount or not. Let's see. In our Geek Squad example that I shared, $375. All right. Well, in her example, they raised it to $481. Inflation, right? Even the scammers get hit by inflation. But anyway, yeah, Geek Squad emails, watch out for those. Don't call the number, and if you do, definitely don't fall for what they tell you if you call the number. This next scam report. Got a text saying a billionaire wants to give me money. Call a certain number that seems to be different. So you give any other details? Got a text saying a billionaire wants to give me money. Call a certain number that seems to be different for everyone contacted. There was a burst of the same text. All right. He didn't give too many details. But look, this goes back to the rule. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Especially some random billionaire reaching out to you claiming he's going to give you money. So watch out for that one. As last scam, this is probably a good one to wrap it up on. Government imposter scam. Message from tax abatement office. Yeah, so watch out for these tax scams. And even though technically, I guess technically tax season is over, right? The due date came and went now. But these tax forgiveness scams are still going to be circulating, right? Especially now more than ever, because what happens is these scammers, you'll get a phone call saying that you owe back taxes and you're entitled to tax forgiveness, right? And especially this time of year, because what happens is when people receive this voicemail, they think, I just filed my taxes. This must be in relation to what I just filed, right? And it makes it more believable. So if you get these calls claiming that you're entitled to tax forgiveness, right? Instead, call up an actual accountant if you think that you're entitled to some kind of tax forgiveness. So watch out for these tax impersonation scams. I think that's about it. I think we get wrapped up. No, Katie, I didn't. So Katie's asking, did you show the email I sent about it was the investment scam one? No, I didn't do that this week. So what I've been doing is I've actually been like trying to alternate some of the scams each week. So I'll go over that one. I'll go over that one next week. So what I've been doing, I've kind of been like trying to alternate with some of them as well. So that's one of the ones I'm going to show over next week. And I think, hey, Nigella, good to see you. We're just about ready to wrap up over here. Darn. Well, you know what? We got some viewers. I'll keep going. There we go. Why not? I'm going to keep going for a little bit since we got some viewers here. You know what, Katie? I'm going to go bring up that scam that you're mentioning. Let's go do it. Let's see. So here's an investment scam email that Katie submitted to us. I remember Katie over here. And it's a great example of there's lots of red flags in this email. I do like sharing it as an example. So you get this email, and first of all, it comes from an Outlook.com email address. JMHholdings07@outlook.com. So that's kind of a red flag right there, right? If someone's claiming to be with a big holding company, okay, but you're getting their email from Outlook.com or a free email address like Gmail, it's a little suspicious, right? The free email addresses, they should really be emailing you from their domain name, from their actual website, email address. So right off the bat, it's a red flag that this is coming from an Outlook.com email address, right? And that says potential investment partnership opportunity. Okay. And the second red flag is it opens up with dear friend, right? So it doesn't put your name there. It doesn't put anything that indicates this is specifically for you, right? It just says dear friend. And the reason they do that is because they're sending this email out to hundreds and thousands of other people, right? The same email, hundreds of other people, right? So they're not going to put your name. So they just put dear friend. Okay. So that's another red flag. The email goes on. They say, my name is Joel Mercier. I'm CEO of JMH Holdings. And it goes on about, they're doing a venture and looking for a partner, and they'd like, someone to, let's see, what did they say? I am entrusting you with the management of the investment portfolio on my behalf. Once we engage in detailed discussions, we can further align our approach and finalize an agreement, right? So it's all this typical shady stuff that these investment scams do, saying they need a partner in the U.S., right? And then it goes on to say they attached a copy to their passport, which I'll show you in a second, but that's also a red flag that we'll talk about in a minute. But finally, they sign off by saying the only contact information they put is a WhatsApp phone number, right? We mentioned WhatsApp earlier. If the only thing they can provide is a WhatsApp phone number, they can't even provide like an actual phone number that calls in. It's just a WhatsApp phone number. It's suspicious. It's a big red flag, right? We know scammers, they prefer to use WhatsApp. So watch out for that. But one of the things that sticks out about this email is they attached a passport, a picture of a passport, right? And it's bizarre that they would do this. I guess they feel like it's giving them legitimacy, but this is actually a huge red flag. Who's going to give a passport out to someone they don't even know, right? By the way, you should never take pictures of your passport and just give them to somebody. It's a great way to have your identity stolen. All right. So anyway, this is an example of a scam email that was circulating, investment email. And a lot of times what they do is, at the very least, they might have you set up a bank account or just steal your bank account details, right? Other times they'll say that you need to pay fees or taxes on the money before they could send it, right? But then they steal the fees and the taxes. So this is an example of investment scam circulating. Don't fall for it. Right, again, it's another example. Sounds too good to be true. It probably is. You get an email out of nowhere. It says, hey, I got $70 million. Want some? Right, it's a little suspicious. Yeah, if you have that kind of luck. So watch out for the investment scam. And you know what? Let me show you another scam example here. Show you an inheritance scam. So I'm going to show you a snail mail version of an inheritance scam real quick. This one's been circulating for over a year now. And last week, on the live stream when we were reviewing the reports on the ARP scam tracker map. Somebody actually reported this scam. So we know it's still circulating, and it's a snail mail version, right? Just because you get a letter in the mail, it doesn't mean you could really trust it any more than an email, right? And unfortunately, people receive something to their door and they think, well, it came to me directly, maybe I could trust it. But it doesn't really mean you can. But this is an example of that. So this letter, it arrives, it's got convincing letterhead, a logo, a law office address. And you can see that this example is from November 29th, 2024. Again, last week, we saw someone reporting it on the ARP scam tracker. So this one's still circulating, still extremely active. You get a letter like this, it's a scam. And this one goes on to say that a relative, someone sharing the same last name as you, and it says that the person passed away from COVID, right? There's a $10 million insurance policy, inheritance, and since you share the same last name as the deceased person, you're entitled to this inheritance, right? And what's interesting about this scam is the person the letter is addressed to, they actually make sure that the last name of that person matches the last name of the supposed deceased relative, right? Another thing about this letter is it goes on to say, this claim requires a high level of confidentiality. It may take up to 30 business days, right? But see how they request confidentiality? There's that red flag we talked about. The scammers, they're always requesting confidentiality. They don't want you talking to people, because if you start showing somebody this letter, you're more likely to be told it's a scam the more people you talk to. So they're trying to keep you quiet by requesting confidentiality. It goes back to that red flag that we talked about earlier. So again, if you get this letter, even though the last names match, it's a scam. Don't fall for it. And what they'll do is, this is one of those examples where they're claiming you get $10.8 million inheritance, but they're going to try to get you to pay fees and taxes first, and they're going to steal all that. And they never get the inheritance. So don't get fooled by this professional looking letter that arrives to your mailbox. You don't get fooled by the professional looking logo and the law office address. It's a scam. And I think we're going to wrap this up now. A little after 8 o'clock. We've been streaming since 5:45 p.m. Eastern. So it was a pretty good live stream. Got a lot in there. Got to see some of our usuals. It was good to see Katie. Got Nigella tuning in. Had Dave, John, Liz, Megan. We had a full house tonight. That was pretty cool. It was good seeing everybody tonight. Excellent. Very good. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. And on that note, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you all. We'll be back next week at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. So make sure to tune in next Thursday. Join the free mailing list if you haven't yet. Scamaware101.com. Hit join free mailing list. Best way to stay up to date with what we're doing over here. Give us a like, follow, subscribe over on YouTube, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. We could use all the likes, follows, and subscribers that we could get. We appreciate it. And that's about it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Until next time, stay safe, everybody. Now, bear with me as I shut down these live streams. Maybe I'll get some outro music playing here. Let's see.
Got a text on your phone saying password expired. Link look weird, but your thumb feel wired. They fishing for the keys to your whole damn life. One tap, now they swimming in your bank late night. Dear customer, copy paste same line. Spelled your name wrong, can't even fake the design. Buzz in your pocket, yo, click for the check. Click for the virus, click, lose respect. Scamaware 101, Jared, break it down. If it sound too sweet, better turn it around. Cash, fast love, miracle and cash. Hit the lead, not the link. We ain't falling for that. Scamaware 101, say it with your chest. Hey. Call them out, block the number, treat it like a test. If your gut say run, then you follow that drum. Scamaware, class has begun.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PIN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
They slide in your DMs, hey friend, long time. Photo look perfect, but the grammar ain't right. Click this link, your package on hold, but you never ordered. That story feel old. They rush you, they push you, act fast, don't wait. Soon as there's pressure, you step on the brakes. Dare break it down, plain talk, no gloss. If they hate your questions, that's your sign to walk off. Red flags, listen when he talks. Jared got the map when the road feels dark. If it sounds too sweet, then you step back,